This video is called Why She Spanked Him, the Narcissistic Boss Babe and the Smug Sigma. To give you some idea of this woman and how fabulous she was, Tupac was singing about her when in his tune, How Do You Want It? He says, "Your body is banging, baby. I love it when you flaunt it. Time to give it to daddy." Yeah, he had this woman in mind. The boss babe was outraged that the Sigma had gotten away from her grasp. She was consumed by a desire for revenge, and she was willing to do whatever she had to get it. For her, having people talk about her was the ultimate goal. She wanted to be the center of attention and would stop at nothing to achieve that. Her evil mind concocted a plan to lure the Sigma into a trap. She got off on making men do her bidding. Her game was to entice her prey into a weakened position. Imagine a woman with all the physical stuff you could imagine, looking you deep in your eyes, and as you touch her, she whimpers for more. What an ego fix. And this is what separates the boss babe from a lot of women. And this is what made her so awesome. She knew what she was doing. And when she begged, "Don't take it away," while making love, men would go wild and lose their minds. This was part of her magic. This is why she is a boss babe and the other woman isn't. She knew what men liked, and she got off watching men move themselves out of position. She was that fine. People would let her get away with stuff because she was exciting to be around. Women would like to be around her because she would draw other men, free drinks, and invitations to the after parties. As for the men, they were always coming to her and her girls with the most potent party favors. They wanted to make a name for themselves. She always got top shelf treatment. And this is what spoiled her. Instead of making her take responsibility for any mistakes or misdeeds, they would use it as leverage to try to get her into bed. Now, she wasn't stupid. She learned that she could do almost anything and then act like she needed help and needed to be saved. And the fellows would line up to be her hero. They were looking to maneuver her into their beds. After a while, she would target specific men for specific things. He's good for party favors. He's good for money. And the Sigma, she had targeted the Sigma because he was so untouchable. And all the other women wanted him. He had an air about him that made him magnetic. In her mind, she should have him. Having him will make her shine above all the other women, and her name would be ringing. She waited until the time was right. One night at the club, the boss babe and her girlfriends were talking and having some drinks. A few men came around, including the Sigma, and the group was having fun. The mood was light. The boss babe saw her chance. She excused herself to go say hi to a friend, or at least that's what she said. What she did was go out to her car and, with the engine off, turn her lights on. With that, the first part of her plan was done. She rejoined the group back inside and was like she never left. After an hour or so, the boss babe said that it's time for her to leave. Two of her girlfriends walked her out to her car. When they got to her car, they said goodnight. The two women turned around, slowly walked back to the club. The boss babe got into her car. The lights being on had done their job. When she turned the ignition on, the battery was down too low to start the car. The boss babe called to her girlfriends. She told them to go back and to discreetly tell the Sigma that she needed help. She needed a jump, and ask him to come help her. So here he is, helping this beautiful woman, and he's feeling good about it. He gives her a jump. Her car starts up. Now she plays the damsel in distress and wonders out loud if she will make it home. She asked the Sigma if he could follow her home in case her car battery fails again. How could he say no? Once they arrived at her place, she invited him up, and he never knew what hit him. She had him in her spot. She kept top shelf liquor and top shelf everything else. She liked filet mignon, Dom Perignon, and Louis Vuitton. She made him a top shelf Long Island iced tea drink and excused herself for a moment. She went to her bedroom and freshened up. Then she put on something that was easy to get out of. She went out and joined her guests on the sofa and picked up her drink. Poor fella, he never stood a chance. Powers of seduction were her specialty. She knew if she played her cards right, he would come back for more. She had him in a full narcissistic love bomb. She began to tell him things to make him believe that only he had her do some of the things she was doing. Somehow, he touched something inside of her that made it okay for her to allow him to do those things to her. He thought it was all him. She was giving him more of whatever he responded to. She knew how to fit like a glove. Whew. They fell asleep exhausted. He left the next morning. The boss babe expected a phone call the next day. But it didn't happen. The following weekend, she's out with some girlfriends, and who does she see? The Sigma. And he was sitting there with an attractive woman having a good time. Boss babe had a quiet fit. It should have been her sitting with the Sigma. She had told her girls that when she had him in her clutches, she had put on her man-killer silk set. She said she poured on the seduction. She said it was the closest thing to love that she had ever felt. And him? He knew his way around the woman's body, so that made it even easier for her to give it up. She was so convinced of her skills that she was sure that he had never had anything that good before. She told the girls he will definitely be back for more of the sweetness that only she had. And now, here he is with some other woman in the same night spot where she had picked him up with her dead battery scheme. Ooh! She was genuinely hurt. She had plans for him. And now he made her look like a failure in front of the entire world. She made up her mind then and there that she was going to make him pay. Whew. I hope you can find some value in these tales from the Manosphere. Be sure to watch the full set of videos of this story so you can get the whole story. Look for the video that tells what the boss babe did to embarrass our Sigma. And also, you'll get to know how and when he became a member of the Narcissistic Abuse Survivors Hall of Fame. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you on the next videos.